Hello and welcome to another reading vlog. This vlog is especially exciting because I'm finally participating in Summerween. I've wanted to participate for years and it would just come and go and I was not prepared, so I just didn't end up doing it, or we would be on like vacation during this time. So I'm very glad I'm able to do it this year. Summerween is hosted by Gabby Reads and it takes place from the 3rd to the 9th of July, and there are reading prompts. The first one is read a book in the dark or at night, which will be very easy for me because that's when I probably read the most. Read a thriller or horror book. Number 3 is read a new to you author, someone you've never read from before, which will also be easy because I don't think I've read from any of these authors. 4, read a book with pink on the cover. 5, read a book with less than 250 pages. So I went to the library the other day and I got 7 books for this reading vlog, which I know is a lot because I already have my July TBR there that already has 6 books, I think. I think we're just going to be doing a lot of reading in July. So let's look at these books. I had such a fun time in the library. Like, I haven't gone to a library to pick out books since I was like a kid. And I just had such a fun time. There were so many books I wanted to read, but I was like, no, do not get any fantasy. You're looking for thriller, horror, mystery. So let's take a look at this stack. You're gonna hear my daughter, she's right in front of me. I'm very glad she's letting me film, but we're gonna see for how long. The first one is Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. I love this cover and I've wanted to read this for a while. I think this would be a good one to read at night. That's the vibe I'm feeling from this one. But the one that I picked for like pink on the cover was Lucy Foley's The Paris Apartment. I feel like people loved or hated this book. For a thriller horror, I'm so excited about this one. I feel like out of these books, I feel like this is the one I wish I could have like purchased. No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Neville. I've wanted to read an Adam Neville for a very long time. There's a book called Come Back to Me, Come Home to Me. It's supposed to be a really sad horror and I really want to read that. But when I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, this is a chance for me to read one of his books. I'm assuming it kind of seems like a haunted house kind of story, which I really wanted. I actually wanted a Darcy Coates from the library and my library just doesn't carry any. So like I'm really hoping this is haunted house. I so hope I love it because I think his writing is supposed to be, from what I've heard, like pretty dark and pretty scary. And yeah. For a book less than 250 pages, I got Murakami's Audition. It's so short and I've wanted to read a Murakami for a while. I love the cover. For an author I've never read, all 3 of these would work. I got Necrology by Meg Ripley. I've also never read a Rachel Hawkins. This is The Wife Upstairs. And then I also picked up this one, which I actually does not have great reviews, but look at the cover. This is Mayra, I think, by Nikki Gonzalez. My plan is to read 7 books in 7 days, which I have done before, so I know it's possible, right? I can totally do it. Oh, this is my stack. I'm so excited. There's no fantasy, there's no romantasy. This is all thriller, horror, mystery, and I'm very excited about this. Today my plan is to read The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley in its entirety, I hope. I'm planning to read this all today. I will immersion read it and possibly listen to some of it when I'm like cleaning or eating or on our walk. I have some like little spooky things that I want to do this week. It's such a like good idea to have Summerween in July because it's been a long time since we've, people that love the spooky season have celebrated anything spooky. So I put up some little decorations, but not too many because September 1st is like when I decorate and I don't want to like take away from September. So I just put up a few little decorations. I want to like watch a spooky movie and maybe make some like spooky dessert. I'm very excited. And maybe spooky art. I want to make some journal spreads for Summerween as well. So that will all be in this vlog. And then of course reading updates on the books that I'm reading. But yeah, we're just gonna see where this vlog takes us. My daughter is done. I'm gonna start this and then come back with an update later. Hello. I finished it. I finished Lucy Foley's The Paris Apartment. I was not able to do an update all day. It was a very busy day. In this book, we're following Jess, who is going to stay with her half-brother in Paris. He lives in an apartment there, and when she gets there, she discovers that he's missing. And she starts to investigate to see, what's going on. The police don't want to help her, or she just kind of feels like they're not going to do anything. And the neighbors in that apartment complex, in this very like nice apartment complex, like everyone there is really rich, she's starting to notice that things are a little bit strange with them, and she's gathering these clues to try to find her half-brother. I will say this did surprise me. I didn't guess like what was going on, but I'm also the type that does not try to guess. I feel for the most part, I really tried to just not guess. But what I did not like about this is that there were a lot of relations going on. And this is not like it was a love story or a romance where I expected that. So I just did not want to, I didn't want to read about it. And there was like relations, then like talk about relations, and so I just don't want to read about that in a thriller where I was not even expecting that. So that's why I rated it pretty low, because it wasn't even just like one instance. It just felt like too much, and I just don't want to read that. Like I personally would not recommend this book. There are better thrillers that don't have that. And it wasn't even like closed door, So unfortunately my first read did not go very well. But I did finish it in a day, and that's what I'm happy about. So, oh well, the first book is done. I am not going to pick my second book until tomorrow. Like, I want to see what mood I'm in for tomorrow, and maybe not do another like thriller right away. Maybe do a horror or mystery, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see how I feel tomorrow. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to give updates tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll just have like a little bit more time. I need to also get up earlier. I slept in a little bit too much because I was up really late. So tomorrow we're going to see what my second book is going to be. I'm going to edit for a while. I'm going to drink my coffee and go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hello and happy 4th of July. I feel kind of bad. Like, I don't have any like 4th of July decor, spooky decor. I picked my next book. I picked Necrology by Meg Ripley. And currently I'm on page 33. Right now in the book, at the beginning of the book, a woman who I believe is a witch, she signs a contract giving up 2 relics that seem really important and like giving up her magic basically, or saying that she's not going to use it. But she's hoping that her daughter and her daughter's daughter, that it'll be better in the future for people like her. And then we jumped to 1894. And now we're following a group of orphans that all have names like animals: bunny, mouse, rabbit, whitetail, something like that. And Whitetail is the woman that takes care of these orphans. And there's a man called Beard, they call him Beard, who's coming to the orphanage. They're afraid of him. The children were like trying to cast a spell to stop him from coming to see them by playing this game. We're figuring things out right now. I'm not really sure why they have these names and this like game that they're playing. It's mostly girls, a few girls and then one boy. And Whitetail is apparently like a few 100 years old and she's taking care of them. And right now Beard just got to the orphanage. He's been like okay with them being there, but they're thinking that's going to change and he's not going to want them to be there anymore because Miss Whitetail sprouted antlers. So we're figuring things out right now. But I love the size of this book. It's so easy to hold and I'm intrigued. I want to understand things that are going on right now. I'm going to continue to read and drink my half and half coffee. And I don't really know what else we're doing today, but I definitely want to go on a walk. We didn't get to walk yesterday because she just needed to nap during the time we normally go on a walk. Yeah, I'm curious to see if we're going to be able to see fireworks from our house. Because I feel like during New Year's we were able to see fireworks, but we'll see what the day brings. Right now I'm just reading. I did a little bit of journaling and I'm doing like laundry. So I think she just woke up from her nap, so I'm going to enjoy my coffee. It smells so good. I haven't had hot coffee in a few days. I've been like just iced or an energy drink, and I like miss the smell of coffee, so I made this. I'll come back with an update, maybe once I reach halfway, if I'm able to, and I'll come back later. It's now 7:40 and I'm about halfway through, a little bit less than halfway. I wanted to be further along at this point, but I'll still be able to finish it. So I'm on chapter 15. Right now, this is not a spoiler because it says it on the back. Whitetail, who is the woman who is taking care of all of those orphans, she was arrested and she's going into this prison to await trial, and the people that are in charge of the orphanage that like own it, they're gonna make sure that she dies. They're like thinking of all these things that could kind of like stack up against her. And the kids have all been, the girls were all split up and the boy is missing. But they're like, we're going to catch him. He can work in the mines for a while and then go off to war. But, you know, boys make mistakes sometimes. They're like fine with the boy, but the girls, they're like, we need to take care of these girls, make sure they're not doing magic. These bad girls, and they need to be split up into homes. We're following Rabbit, or her real name is Abigail, and nothing's really happening with her. They've lived in an orphanage with like not a lot of stuff, and like we're outside all the time, and now she has to like be more like clean and is learning things she never knew of before. It's a little slow right now. We're following the woman in prison and then Rabbit. She's asleep, so I'm gonna keep reading. I have my Red Bull to keep me awake. My marinara sauce was okay. It was a little too sweet. It was too sweet. I bought the wrong tomatoes. The tomatoes already had seasoning in them, and I did not want that. I just wanted tomatoes, and then I add the seasoning. And then I think I added too much tomato paste, so it was tomatoey. You know? It was really fun to make it, though. Something that I really hate buying is marinara sauce from like a jar, because you use like the whole thing. Like you need like 2 for a meal. And then you have this glass jar, and I hate like having that. I've just always wanted to make my own, so I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna make a really good marinara sauce, and I could make it in like bulk. It wasn't bad, it was just too sweet. Oh, and I know that there was a buzzing with my microphone yesterday. I think I fixed it. Hopefully when I edit this, there's no buzzing. I think it was the cover that I had on it. So hopefully no more buzzing. We'll see. As soon as she wakes up, we're going to go on our walk. Maybe go see if the cows are there to look at and finish up this book. Some weird magic stuff happening to Whitetail. It's very strange. Oh, but there was this thing that she said. It was so sad. She was talking about how her mother died, and I don't know, she was born of the dirt. There's a lot of talk of like dirt and mud, but she was telling the orphans, we are all children are orphans at one point. And I was like, oh, that's so sad. All right, I'm gonna keep reading. I really hope no fireworks go off. It's 1 a.m. I think you should stop popping fireworks at 1 a.m. But like in a neighborhood, you know, with kids that are asleep. But thankfully, she has slept through a bunch of fireworks that have gone off that were like loud, like big ones right outside my window. She's at the other end of the house, but I cannot believe she slept through that. I finished it, and I don't know that I really liked it. I felt kind of bored. I think a lot of the stuff in this book is not explained, and it's not really supposed to, like the magic and everything. I really liked the discussion of like motherhood between Whitetail and the orphans, specifically Rabbit. They all have these names, like animal names, to further kind of tie them into the wild, to nature, because the like magic is these witches are tied to the earth, to dirt, and that's how they it's kind of confusing, but they use the dirt to like create magic. There's lots of symbolism within the book. I'm sure so much of it went over my head. This is about oppression and control, fearing women's power, rebellion, self-discovery, history. I do think it was an interesting book, and I think the message was like good without being too, I don't know how to say it, like aggressive? I hope that makes sense. I liked that there was a lot of symbolism within the book. I think I expected it to be a little bit more spooky. I don't really understand how this is classified as a horror. I guess there is like some, sorry about the fireworks, There is a little bit of body horror, and this is about witches, but it was not as spooky as I thought it was going to be. Right now I'm thinking it's a 3. The story revolves around the main character, Rabbit, who's confused about like who is actually right. Like, is magic good or is it bad? Because she's seen magic being used where it seemed like it was really bad, and she herself has used magic that hurt someone. But then she also feels very connected to the dirt. She sees that magic is something you can't just like be stripped of, or should not. That women, because all women like contain magic, it just kind of has to be like brought out. She thinks that it's wrong to strip women of their magic, which is what the free men want to do. The free men are the men that came up with this contract years ago, like a long time ago, that witches would, which the like leader of the society, I think, signed saying that they would not use magic and stuff like that. She's conflicted, and her mother, Whitetail, is the one being, or like mother, kind of, is the one, is in jail waiting to be executed for being a witch and like breaking the contract. And she's living with freemen during this period of time that are telling her how wrong it is. I feel like this is a book that I will forget about. It did not have a very strong impact on me. I do think that it was like beautifully written. I liked the like connection to nature and stuff like that. And I thought the end was good. I just don't feel super connected to it. But if you like a very feminist book with some dark fantasy, magic, gothic vibes, but not like too spooky, then this might be for you. Hopefully you'll have better luck tomorrow. But we had a good 4th of July. She got to see some fireworks. We could see them from our backyard, which I figured. I thought we were going to be able to see them. And she liked them until our neighbors started to pop some that were really loud. And then she's like, okay, I'm done with this. We did not get to see the cows. They were not out. So, and I think right now, just that path may not be great. Since we had a lot of rain, right now I feel like there are a lot of bugs in that area. Like, I kind of wanted to leave that path because this like bug kept like following us, buzzing around my head. But we had a good day. I'm going to edit for a little while and, well, for a while. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm excited about this book. This is giving me the same like feeling as like a Riley Sager right now. We're following Jane, who is a dog walker in this very rich neighborhood. She doesn't have a lot of money. She has to live with like this guy that she does not like. And she walks these dogs. She doesn't like these rich people. And she steals from them when she can. She likes the like rush of stealing small things from them. And sometimes she has to pawn those things off so that she can pay rent. She runs into this guy who's younger than like the men in this neighborhood. She's like kind of surprised. He's like very handsome and young. And he's like, oh, you walk dogs. And he tells her he's going to get a dog. And would she walk his dog? And she's like, Yes. He lets her know that he is a widow. His wife died. I don't know how long ago, but he has like burned all the photos of them except for one that he said he could not like let go of. And it's like them in Hawaii when they met. And she's kind of glad that the wife is dead so that she can be with this guy. And right now they're like in his house looking at his things, and it kind of seems like it's weird that I think his wife was like really successful and now she's dead, but it's kind of setting him up to kind of seem like he's the one keeping them. Potentially, we don't know if there's a wife upstairs yet, but it seems a little too obvious that he would be like the bad guy, because he seems like he doesn't really care about his wife. He's like glad that this dog walker's in his house, and yeah. I feel like this is going to be such a fast read. I think I'm going to finish this one a lot faster than the one yesterday, because I'm like, I want to know, is there a wife upstairs? Are we about to like see her or meet her? And why is he keeping her up there? Or is he keeping her up there? Or I want to know all this stuff. And people that I follow that I trust have rated this pretty high. So I feel like this is going to be really good. And I noticed that this author, her books all have like, or maybe not all of them, but I was seeing a bunch of them that have like a wall as like the cover. And I thought that was interesting. I think I would like to potentially watch a spooky movie later. I want to watch a spooky movie during Summerween and maybe create like a little drawing or an artwork while I watch a movie. I love doing that. I love like watching a movie and creating art. So maybe I'll do that later. That sounds like fun. I feel like watching like a slasher. I'll come back with another update later. I'm very interested. Good morning. It is day 5 of Summerween, and I have some reading updates. I finished 2 books. I finished The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins, and I also finished Myra by Nikki Gonzalez. I did not really like either of these books. The Wife Upstairs was fine. There were times that it was exciting, but I just think that there are better thrillers. I did like the end. There were just some things about the book I did not like, and just felt like when the twist happened, I wasn't terribly surprised. So I've just read better thrillers, so I think I gave this a 3. It was very fast paced, which I enjoyed. I liked how easy this was, but just didn't love it, so I gave it a 3. And I also finished Myra by Nikki Gonzalez. This did have some of that summer, spooky vibe. The people that we're following are staying at a house in the marshes of Florida, and it's hot, and she talks about the bugs and the alligators, stuff like that. So you get some of that summer vibe. I wanted so much more. I feel like I wanted more of some things in this book and less of other things. Some of the stuff that our characters were doing when they were younger, I was just kind of that's gross. I didn't like some of the stuff our characters were doing when they were younger, but I think that that's the point. But I just did not want to read the throwback to when they were younger, because I was I don't like you guys when you're younger. I don't like these 2 characters being how they were when they were younger. I just wanted to stay in the present at this creepy house. The things are happening in the house, which I wanted more of too. The house stuff, I was give me more of this and explain it a little bit better. But the probably just the main message of the book of identity, obsession, changing yourself depending on who you're with, depending on where you are, just becoming someone else completely. That's the main message of this book. Not wanting to be yourself. But I think I just wanted more spookiness and less of the message. I just thought if I were a horror book cover, I feel this, look at this, the colors, this would be the cover I would make if I wrote a horror book. The super bright red and the eerie background. I really love this cover. That's why I picked it up. There were some spooky aspects to it. I just wanted more. Like I said, I think I gave this 2 stars. I almost just gave it 1. I had to force myself to finish this book, but the end, I was actually the end was actually good. It was just the rest of the book that I didn't really like. So I finished day 3 and day 4. Today, the prompt I'm going to complete is less than 250 pages, I think, because this is 189. It's 90 pages, 190 pages. This is Audition by Ryu Murakami. This says, in a glorious, over-the-top tale, I can't say the protagonist's name, a widower who lived alone with his son since his wife died 7 years ago decides that it's time to remarry. Since he is a bit rusty when it comes to dating, a filmmaker friend proposes he stages auditions for a movie he never intends to produce in order to cast the perfect woman as his bride. Only one of the applicants catches his eye. Yamasaki, a striking young ballerina with a mysterious past. Blinded by his infatuation, he discovers too late that she is a far cry from an innocent young woman he imagined her to be. The novel is fast-paced thriller. Conclusion does not spare the reader as Yamasaki takes off her angelic mask and reveals what lies beneath. I hope it's really fast-paced and maybe a slasher. That's what I'm kind of thinking from this. I don't know if this is giving strong summer vibes, which is fine because that's not why I picked this book, but I hope it's a good slasher. I've read 4 books and haven't loved any of them. None of them have been over a 3. So I feel like these last three, there's hope for them. The last three that I have is this one that I'm going to read today, No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Novell. And then the one I have such high hopes for is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I'm thinking I'm going to end with this one, try to end on like the one I think is really going to be good. So I'm going to read this. I have family coming into town today, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to vlog, but we'll see, and I will come back with either an update on this one, or maybe once I finish 2 books, then I'll come and like give an update. Oh, and I love my garland, if you can see it up there. I had so much fun making that. Like, that reminded me of being a teacher and like making decorations for my classroom or for like the hallway. It was so much fun, and I want to do more of that. Like, when Halloween comes around, I want to like make more spooky garland. And then Christmas, I've seen on Pinterest these pictures of like garland that has like really big pictures, and they're all kind of like smushed together on a piece of string, and I love that. So now I just want to make garland and hang it everywhere. So that was really fun. It's the last day of Summerween, and I've failed the last 2 days. It's July 9th, so it ends today. I did start Audition by Murakami. I don't know. I might DNF this. I looked up trigger warnings because I feel like I need to just do that with every book now. Like, I think it might be a good thing to just do with every book. And this is supposed to have a lot of things that I don't know if I want to read. This is supposed to have like torture at the end. I just don't know if this book is worth it. So I'm going to put it on the back burner for now. And then the last 2 books are No One Gets Out Alive, which I just looked up the trigger warnings for. This is supposed to be pretty disturbing. I don't know about this either. So my plan is to start this, and if I'm feeling like it might just be too much, might be a little too disturbing, then I am going to stop. I don't want to read something and wish I hadn't. This is the plan for today. This is a much longer horror. Oh my gosh, this is like 600 pages. But I think this is supposed to be about like kidnapping, some trafficking. So I don't know. And like a really creepy guy. And that's not what I thought this was, and I should have looked it up. I thought this was going to be like haunted house. I think this is like people trying to get away from this kidnapper who is trafficking girls. So I don't know. I don't know if this is what I want to read. So if that is the case, then this will just be my last book, and then I will have read 5. And hopefully I like this one. This Summerween has not gone how I thought it was going to go. That's okay. It's still been fun, and I still want to make this like spooky dessert that's like I have to do it today. I feel like my face is like all swollen. I just woke up, so I'm tired. But I had a fun time with family here, and I made like a little bookmark. It's my new favorite. We did a lot of like craftsy things with my daughter, so that was really fun. And that was more important than reading a spooky book that I'm probably not even going to like anyway. Hopefully we can find a book that I like and make my spooky dessert. And I am thinking I'm going to move my office around. I have a new addition to my office, and I think I need to move things around. And then I was looking at another room in our house, and I was like, man, this room gets better lighting. I was like, should I move my whole office to that room? That would not be today or anytime soon, but the lighting in there is so much better. And I don't think I ever realized that until my mom pointed it out when she was here, and I was like, you're right, it really does get great lighting. And this is not, I don't get a lot of light through this window. It's the better window because it has the better view. All right, I'm gonna start this, possibly read this, but I don't know. And then for sure read this. I finished it. It's 1:30 in the morning, but I finished this book. This is a 620-page horror. That just seems wrong. It's so long for a horror. That's a fantasy book. And I'll talk about it when I have my mic. I'm too tired to care about my mic, but I finished it. And I need to cheat and have one more day of Summerween because I want to read the only one left. What's it called? The Agatha Christie book. And I cannot read anymore tonight. I've been reading this all day long, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to finish a 620-page book, but I did. And oh man, if you read this book, you need to look at all the trigger warnings because this is pretty dark and ugh. Okay, I'm done for the day. I'm gonna make Summerween go until the 10th. That's okay, because I want to add that book to the vlog and maybe finish the other one so I could have completed the 7. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, let's do a reading update. It is July 10th. I'm adding a day of Summerween for myself. And I've finished a book and I DNF'd a book. So let's talk about them. Yesterday, I vlogged a little bit. I finished No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Novell. I was getting this author mixed up with Ronald Malfi. This is the book. I thought this was the same author. This is the one I wanted. I think they have similar vibes, like very dark, but not extreme horror, just like really dark, heavy horror. That's what I think. This book was very dark. The horror in this is pretty awful. In this book, we're following Stephanie, who lives in, I think it's London. But I could be, it's somewhere in the UK. She does not have a lot of money and she needs a place to stay. So she picks this place that is like £40 a month. It's like insanely cheap. And then when she's like, okay, I'll take it. And then she gets the tour and it's like super run down, awful. The guy that owns it is like really seedy, and she stays there for one day and experiences things. She sees someone, she hears awful sounds, and she decides that she cannot stay there. So she tries to get out of this house, she just needs her deposit back. The guy will not give it to her. And she ends up in a very tough situation where she ends up stuck in this house with these two landlords, these two men, and their very awful business. This does have some paranormal things happening in the house, and then there are just other awful things happening in the house. This book like shifted gears like 3 times. I feel like at the beginning of the book, I was like, okay, haunted house with a really dark past, just like haunted house. That's what I was thinking. And then it got like really dark and had like an evil being in it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then the end was like gory. And I felt like I was expecting just haunted house and got way more. This book is like 630 pages, so a lot happens. It was very long. And I almost DNF'd it. I had to look up a few things. I was like, okay, I need to know what I'm going to read in case I don't want to read that. And I would suggest if you read this to look up all the trigger warnings, because there are so many for this book. And I do think that it is a good story. It has like a cautionary feel to it too, because she like falls into this trap that I think, that other women kind of fall into. And it's very sad. Like the things that happen to these women, they really do happen, and it's really sad. In the book, these women are coming from other countries, being told that they're going to have this new life, that everything's going to be great, and then they wind up basically becoming property to the person that brought them to that other country. So it was interesting. It was dark. It was so heavy. After reading this book, I was like, I need a happy book. I need to watch a funny show. It's like this. I had to turn it off a few times because as I was listening to the audiobook, I was like, It had a good ending. And I do think that it was a well-written book. And I would be curious to read more by this author, but I don't know that I would like say, oh, you need to read this horror, because I don't know if you should read this or not. It's so, yeah, I rated it a 4, and I've been thinking about it throughout the day. I'm like, I don't know, a 4 seems kind of high for like a book that I don't think I would recommend. So I'm thinking it's going to be a 3 to 3.5. So I finished that, and I read it all yesterday. Then I was like, okay, let's just read the whole TBR. I'm going to finish Audition by Ryu Murakami, and I DNF'd this. These both have similar things. The horror in both of these is very similar. And I was like, I can't. Then this was so much more descriptive. I figured that was going to happen, and then this one was going to get revenge, and I stopped before she could get the revenge. I could not. So DNF'd this. The last book on my TBR is Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. This should not have anything that these two books had. I don't think. I want something atmospheric and spooky, not like... I just really feel like this Summerween was such a bust. I have not liked like any books. This is the best one so far. But even then, I don't want to tell anyone to read this. So I'm going to start reading this when it is dark out. We're going to go for our walk later, and then when we come back, I'm going to start this. I'm very excited, and I just hope it's atmospheric. And, you know, it's a mystery. This isn't a horror, so it should not be scary or super dark or make me feel, like, icky. I moved my office around so much. Like, this whole side of my office is all different, and I'm gonna show it, but I'm still working on it. But I'm very excited. Look at this. Oh, I have a chair. I just need to, it needs a little bit of fixing up. All right, I'll come back after I finish this with my final kind of wrap up of Summerween. All right, Summerween is over. Let's talk about my books and wrap up this vlog. So the first book that I read was The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. And this was the prompt pink on the cover. To me, this was a very forgettable thriller. Like I don't even remember. I don't remember this book like super well. This was not very good in my opinion. And I am not like dying to pick up anything else by this author. So this was not very good. Then I think I read, this is the right order. For a thriller or horror book, I read The Wife Upstairs, which I read that this is a retelling of Jane Eyre. I hope Jane Eyre is way better because this was okay. There are better thrillers than this that I feel have like similar vibes. When I saw that this was a retelling, I thought Rebecca. This kind of reminds me of Rebecca a little bit, but Rebecca was better. But this was also forgettable. It was okay, but I do think that there are better thrillers. I have better thrillers on my shelf than this one. So I'm also like, don't know if Rachel Hawkins is going to be for me either. I am really picky with thrillers though. So yeah, I feel like I judge thrillers maybe the most harshly. And both of these I'm going to totally just forget about. For a new to you author, all of these are new to me, but I picked Necrology by Meg Ripley. This was interesting. I don't know that this was a great Summerween book for me though. I wanted something more spooky, maybe a little bit more witchy. I just don't think this book was for me. I don't think it was a bad book. There were things in this book that I liked and I thought it was interesting. It's just not my favorite book. I love the cover. Like the cover of this book is so beautiful. The spine is really cool. It was fine. Then I read Myra, which I also didn't really like. This felt gross to me, and not like horror gross, like people being gross. I just didn't like it. I love the cover. This is one of the coolest like horror covers. And there were some spooky, summery vibes in this book that I liked because it's set in Florida. There's like in the marshes of Florida and it's hot and they're in this house. I will say I did like the end. The end and like one part where she was kind of like lost in the marshes was the best part of this book. But I think the whole point of this book, the like obsession, I did not like it because I feel like it kind of got gross. Yeah, so the lighting keeps getting like super bright. So unfortunately, this was also not, a book I would recommend. I then read No One Gets Out Alive, which is just, it is a good book, but I also don't know that I would recommend because it is so dark. So just know that it's also a very long book. I am curious to read more by this author. There's one called Redding. It has like a wolf or something on the cover. I am curious, but this I read is supposed to be his most disturbing book, and it was very disturbing. But it like was good, but also like really bad. I DNF'd Audition. It was so gross. So I did not finish that book. And then last night I read And Then There Were None, in the whole thing last night, and I loved it. This is what I should have started with. Or maybe it's good that I ended on a high note because I was like, man, my Summerween did not go as planned. But this was so good and I want to own this book. I really love this cover, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this one. I just want to like buy this from the library. This was very good murder mystery. And it just felt like I was watching a movie, and it's like the spooky vibes, and the mystery was really good. And the end, I was like, that was a brilliant ending, I thought. And I just really liked it. I mean, I knew I was gonna like this. It's like, I think this is probably her most popular book, but I guess I don't really know. To me, this is Agatha Christie. Like, this is the one she wrote, but I know she's written many books, and I kind of wish I just picked up a lot more Agatha Christie for this Summerween. But I'm already thinking about next Summerween, and maybe what I need to like do is research the books a little bit more, track the trigger warnings, and I feel like I just didn't pick books that were right for me. That's okay. I found one that I really liked. But 6 books finished for Summerween. Pretty good, even though didn't love them all. So I had a really fun Summerween though, like doing crafts and making those funny cookies and finding furniture. All of this behind me, I found. And it's like, my office is now like complete. I just need to put stuff on the walls and then my office is like done. That's crazy. Finding furniture like on the street is one of my favorite things. Like, I get so much more satisfaction from finding furniture than I do like buying new furniture. I love getting things on a deal or finding things for free. It's the best. So I had a really fun time like rearranging my office, and I'm gonna show it, but I do want to put stuff up on the wall. My battery's gonna die. I hope you enjoyed my Summerween vlog. I'm so glad I did it this year, and I'm so going to do it again next year and just pick different books. Like, be a little bit more careful with the books I pick or something. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.